Welcome to Miffs. I'm Matt Huss.
And I'm Dan Rhodes. Whether you know about Theseus or you're revising your syllabus,
If you want tales with a bit of jest, or you just want to hear about incest.
What?
What? It's really interesting.
Welcome to Miffs. Welcome to Miffs.
Hello and welcome to episode 82 of Miffs Podcast, your favourite ever podcast, the only podcast in the world, some might say. That's episode 4.
It's the episode 4 trumpet.
Oh, we're really hitting all the old ones today, aren't we? Oh, a lot of these people say, why do you remember all that? It's 'cause I can. But Dan, how are you, man?
I'm not too bad, Matt. How are you?
You sounded very relaxed and refreshed this morning.
I'm pretty relaxed and refreshed. Got a cup of tea?
I got a cup of tea.
Last week I had a beer. It's a different tack today.
Yeah, but
This time's beer.
Well, we recorded both of these episodes at 10 o'clock in the morning, so, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all good. Should we do another clink?
I like how we did that really gently because we didn't want to break the...
Yeah, I'm kind of drinking out the Miffs mug as well.
The Miffs mug that my mother got you.
Who?
My mother.
Chris Rhodes. I don't know her name.
That's a callback.
Yeah. So less of a callback, more like you being a bad son, I'd say.
Yeah. That time I forgot my mum's name.
Yeah, good times. But you woke up in the dreary elixirs of the meadows of North Yorkshire.
I did wake up in North Yorkshire today. Outside in a field. I don't know why you didn't let me in the house. But
Yeah, well...
Is it payback for the time I made you sleep on the sofa?
We're hitting them all today, yes please. It's all good. It's I find it. Yeah, you know, I should have been more angry about that. But you know, I'm such a nice guy. I did let you inside eventually. But my cat wakes me up very early nowadays. So, and the best thing about the Fringe was I can just, you know, not be woke. I have that uninterrupted sleep, if you know what I mean. Because my cat comes in now and wakes me up halfway through the night for food. But that being said, though, in Edinburgh, I did get waken up by people shouting at my room quite a lot. Like, I would live right next to a bus stop, and I heard most nights just, "Carl, what you doing, Carl? Get out of there, Carl, you fucking prick!" I had that quite a lot, and cost me $1,000 to stay there. So, oh, good times.
Think of all the places you could have gone.
Yeah, I think I must have spent in total about $4,000 at the Fringe this year on everything. So where could I have gone with that? And would I have had a nice...
Well, $4,000 would probably have got you... And this is $4,000 for one person as well. You could easily have gone to the Maldives for probably like 10 days.
Yeah, but could you have got all the reviews that I got at the Maldives?
You could have done $4,000. Probably would have got you a pretty banging like Silk Road tour with a really decent like small groups travel company. That would have been cool. Think of all the adventures you could have had.
Okay.
Could have gone to Australia business class.
Business class. What's the difference between first, business, and economy? Because I don't know what.
Well, economy's like what makes
Basic.
your basic. You know, you sit on a plane.
Yeah.
We that's like the bog standard. Then it goes up to premium. No, premium economy, so it's still closer to economy than it is business. People think of it as being in the middle, but it's actually closer to economy. So it's just, typically you only sit next to one other person, rather than there's not like 333. It's normally like 222.
Don't mind that, yeah.
So that's a bit nicer. They're more like armchairs as well, like you have your own designated armrest.
Mm-hmm.
So there's none of that argy-bargy stuff. There's a bit of a gap between you and the seat next to you. And it's like an armchair in the sense that you've got the seat in front of you is much further away. So you've got much better legroom. Not necessarily, I can stretch my legs fully out, but just much more comfortable. Just a bigger area, bigger screen, but it's still economy. So you still get economy food. You don't get lounge access, anything like that. Then it goes up to business.
Yeah, but why is premium below business? Because if I was a business, I'd probably put someone on the economy just for like saving money, right?
But it goes economy, premium, and business. Yeah.
Yeah, but like. Why is it called business?
I don't know, because historically business is for businessmen, so they can have a lie flat bed and they can relax and don't get jet lagged.
So why are they not in first class?
Well, there is first class too. First class is like business plus.
Yeah, but
you get your own often you get your own area.
Okay.
Not all airlines have first class on every aircraft, and some of them might only have 2 or 3 first class suites available.
But my question is that, okay, at what point did someone go, okay, we want something better than economy and premium, but we don't want to pay for the nose for it, so we'll take something in between first class and, like, premium. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know where that distinction came from. Why don't you just fork out for first class, or don't fork out, just go for economy? You know what I mean?
Because it's a crazy different experience, isn't it?
But is it? Yeah, I don't know.
I would say definitely.
Well, I don't know enough.
I would say if you flew... Imagine sitting on a plane to Australia and you're like cramped in on economy and you've got a small little screen and the food's really crap and you sit next to some fat bloke who's spilling into both your seat and the seat next to you.
All right,
and you're trapped there in the middle and you're just like, oh my god, this is horrendous. Now picture, oh, I'm in an armchair, this is nice. Still next to some sweaty fat bloke, but at least the food's still shit.
You said that twice in my eyes.
It's still better. And now let's jump up even more to, oh, hello. I've got my own special little cabin area here with an actual bed in it that also is a seat. I've got like a 32-inch TV in front of me. I've got like a 3-course meal delivered to me. I get a chauffeur service which picks me up from my house, takes me to the airport. When I'm at the airport, I get a lounge with loads of buffet food and free beer, and I get to have a shower and relax.
But is that first class?
That's business.
But see, that's what I don't mean. The jump up's too much. You know what I mean?
There is a big jump up.
That's
yeah.
what I mean.
It goes like economy.
It goes
Premium economy.
It's like
economy is like 1.
1.
Premium economy is like 3.
Then it goes to 10.
Then it goes to like 8.
I think 10's
Then
right.
it jumps to like 8.
'Cause, like,
and then
no.
for 10 it would be like first class.
No, but what's the difference between first class then? What more do you get then? 'Cause that sounds like you've got the
first class can have crazy stuff. Like you can have like your own. You can have like your own area with like a shower in it. Sometimes you get like your own like like a one-on-one like air hostess who caters for all your needs.
See, that's too
You
much.
get like a double bed sometimes. Like it's pretty crazy. You get like your own like Well, Etihad actually had one more up from first class, which is going to blow your mind.
Fuck off.
It's called the Residence Suite, which is only on one. There's only one on their aircraft, and that's like an apartment you get. You get like a butler and everything.
Why do you need an apartment?
It's like an actual apartment.
Just
on a
buy
plane.
it. If you're that rich, buy your own jet.
Because it's still cheaper than buying a private jet. I think it's like £9 per person, but it's like no, I think it's actually. But I think you have to pay for 2 people, so I think it's like It's like minimum of 18 grand. But that's cheaper than chartering a plane. So if you're really wealthy and you need to go to Abu Dhabi for the weekend on business, why not?
I feel like even if I was rich, I would still sit in economy. Like that's not a wanky thing to say. Like oh yeah, but I think I'd genuinely be too uncomfortable being like first class. So, like having my own, like having an air hostess just for me is like too weird. You know what I mean? Be like just get me a whiskey and then we'll sit in silence for an hour. You know what I mean? Oh, how much do you have to pay for me to fly a plane?
How would I have to pay you to fly a plane?
No, but how much would I have to pay if I wanted to fly the plane?
What?
Is that an option?
That's not an option.
Oh, well, so I can do everything else, but not fly the
not
plane?
since the 11th of September.
Oh, you're doing so well, Dan.
Anyway, Matt, was that interesting there? Are people going to listen to that product knowledge about aircrafts and
I think it was interesting. It was less funny, but more interesting, I'd say. But Dan, I had a good Fringe. I mean, I could have been in the Maldives, but it doesn't matter. I had a nice time. Can you tell people about the Fringe show I did? What do you know about it?
It's cool. Here Comes Your Man, named after a Pixies, I want to say album.
Yep.
Song.
Off
Pixies
To The Soul. And 1989. And yeah, it was so it's a song. Basically, it's a show about the last show of my love life, really.
Yeah.
And it kind of talks about a person called Matilda quite a lot, and the show went really well. People really loved it.
Is Matilda a real person?
Matilda is a moniker of a real person, but within that, her own legend is grew.
Okay.
Yeah. That sounds
So
very
you
pretentious.
put all your real life relationships into a fake person called Matilda.
No.
Why did you pick the name Matilda?
Because the real life person chose it for me. The person I was using a pseudonym for, she said she'd always liked to be called Matilda, so I thought, okay, I'll Matilda it is. So that's quite sweet, but also sycophantic. And so Matilda, she was there's all the real life experiences from that from the real life person. But shut up! Why? You obviously know I have to bleep that now. You're such a dick. Alright. that person,
Yeah.
the beep noise.
The beep noise person.
Let's call her beep noise.
Okay, beep noise.
So, all Matilda's experience were bleep noises, but because I had to change stuff for the show, little parts of it changed a little bit. So I did the show, and I remember on the third or fourth show I did, it was like a Saturday night, and I had about 15 people in, which is pretty for a 50-seater room. Ooh, we only filled it a couple of times then. But actually what's quite cool in the Fringe was I started out, the first gig I did had 2 people there, 2 patrons, audience members, and those 2 people were contractually obliged to be there, so I technically was paying them to be there. I had a front of house member and my flyer, so every time they laughed, I was like, well, that cost me £3, you know?
That's funny.
But word of mouth grew, because the shows I did do, people really liked it, so it spread. So by the end of the Fringe, I had like 4 rooms and stuff like that. So
that's good, that's good. What's the capacity?
50.
Nice.
So, but this one I'm at 15, and people were really into it. It was not the best show I did, it was slightly frantic, but there was 3 people sat in the front row who I didn't really know, and everyone was enjoying it, but these 3 people, they liked it, but not as much as everyone else. They were sat in the front row kind of like staring at me a bit, and I did the show. I talked about what happened with Matilda and I, and it was quite it was a good show, but I do get quite honest into the details of what happened, all kind of manner of fact of it. And at the end, these 3 people who I didn't know kind of came up to me at the end and went, "Oh, Matt, we really enjoyed the show. Just to let you know, we're Matilda's friends, by the way." And I could have eaten a shell. I was like, oh, that's so awkward. I was like, I had to retract everything. What did I just say on stage? You know, what did I? Oh my god, it was really. And they actually liked me apparently, but I was also like, I think I might want to die forever now. That's awkward, right?
That is awkward that her friends were there listening to you. Basically badmouth her for an hour.
But the thing is, I wasn't badmouthing her. And the whole point of the show is supposed to be a positive.
Okay, yeah.
And I wasn't smirching her name.
Yeah, positive discrimination against her.
It wasn't discrimination, Dan. Wow, I feel like you're taking this in the back. It's a positive breakup show. That's the whole point.
Yeah, positive breakup show. It's okay to break up. You're in a better place now.
Well, I'm still doing this fucking podcast, but you know.
Do you still do that really dark bit about? By the way, notice how I'm asking him because I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Do you still do that bit about the Samaritans?
No, not anymore.
So it's probably changed quite a bit since I saw saw it.
Yeah, the Samaritans bit. I'm not sure if I can keep this in, but the Samaritans bit was too dark. I would say, like it's supposed to be quite an uplifting show, and that bit was true. But I also felt like
it had a good punchline. It was funny.
It was funny, but I changed
maybe
it
for another time.
Yeah, I've saved it for another time. I thought. So that was quite awkward. I also had quite an awkward experience with a heckler as well. I did my early morning show at 10:30, and it's a very chilled out show in the morning. And
10:30 in the morning. That's a tough gig.
Yeah. Well, this one was a tough gig because as soon as I got on stage, like this old man heckled me, and he was trying to be really funny, and he was having a bit of a laugh and stuff like that. But at one point, he just shouted, and I couldn't really be arsed with him, you know. But at one point, he goes, "Matt, why don't you get a fucking job?" I was like, "All right, mate. Oh, calm down. You know what I mean? Like you're a very hostile old man here." And I was like, "Okay, mate, don't worry about it. What do you do for a living?" You know. He goes, "Actually, I'm retired." I was like, "Well, mate, why don't you get a fucking job then?" And so I pwned this old man.
You told the old man?
Yeah, I told him.
It seems weird to me that you would actively choose to go to a comedy show at 10:30 in the morning and then heckle.
Yeah,
that's quite a niche time to go and see comedy.
For sure.
You must like comedy enough to go and see it.
But then,
do you know what I mean?
But then he's like, "Oh, actually, yeah, I don't respect you enough to sit quietly."
Yeah, that's weird.
But he was he thought it was funny and it's like that. But also I got heckled in another way because do you know the silent discos in Edinburgh?
Well, I know of a silent disco concept where you wear like headphones and you have a cracking time.
What they do, this guy called Guru Doodoo, and
Guru Doodoo,
yeah, and
that's meant to be.
How have you laughed at that? But not. I gave you 2 stories and nothing.
Guru Doodoo. That's too good, Carry on.
Fuck you, man. I'm giving you quality. I'm giving you stories and okay.
Guru Doodoo.
But with But beyond that, they're like, so they have Guru Dudu just walking to as a silent disco. So he gets large groups of people to walk through Edinburgh, singing their hearts out and stuff like that, and getting people to sing big songs. And it's very much frowned upon by a lot of performers because it's annoying and you kind of get in the way and stuff like that. And it's a lot of people are just
Is it in the street?
Singing in the street, kind of very much, but with headphones on. But it's quite loud and intrusive, I'd say, and very. And also, I think as a performer, like, struggled to get 15 people and to get like about 100 people every hour. It was kind of like, oh, that's annoying. So my mum came.
Is he DJing the silent disco?
No, you kind of get like a set list, and but they kind of coordinate people and stuff like that, get them to do dance moves and be silly and take pictures of them. But with that though, so my mum on the final weekend, she stayed over for Saturday and Sunday, and my mum, she instead of singing my solo show, said, "Oh, sorry, Matt, I'm going to go into a silent disco." And I was like, that's the biggest fucking slight you could ever give against me, you know what I mean? I was like, that's heartbreaking, you know what I mean? Because instead of saying, "Oh, Matt, know that thing you poured your heart into for last year? Sorry, I'm going to dance to ABBA."
Did she see the show in the end?
She did see it, yeah, but I was like, still a bit of a piss take, isn't it?
Did they like it, your family?
I think so. My auntie saw it and told my mum, saying, "I think he's quite depressed." Yeah.
She's not wrong.
Yeah.
She's not wrong.
I'm happy now, I think.
Yeah, in a good place.
I think so. It's like one of those things where I'm still recovering from Edinburgh as well, so I feel like I just feel that I'm a bit like, I think my mind's okay, and just feel like I'm just kind of shattered. My body's like fatigued. But did I ever tell you? Okay, I've got another story for you for another time. But I actually did a roast battle.
Did you roast yourself? Or were you sitting in on a roast battle and they roasted you?
No.
God, I would love so much to be in a roast battle.
Should we do a roast battle? Let's do a roast battle right now. That'd be really good. Oh yeah, Dan.
You know we're already like 20 minutes in.
Oh yeah, shit. Sorry, we should probably yeah. Sorry, I
mean, we're going to cut the majority of my airline crap.
Nah,
that was not funny.
I liked it. To be honest, I enjoyed it more than what you gave my stories. I feel the stories were worth a little bit more than what you gave.
If you want, you can do all your stories again, and I'll fake it off like I did last time.
Don't you fucking dare! Okay. That was painful. But
you had a good time. You had a good time at Fringe.
Yeah, I had a good time, and it was worth every penny of the 4,000.
Wow.
No, I take that back. Please take me to the Maldives, and take me to. Why don't we go on a journey, Dan, to the Odyssey of the Roman times into our ears.
Yes.
A voyage into the canals of our brains. Here we go. This is time for a jingle. Jingle.
You want to try that same way again?
No. Alright.
Oh, that's really fun.
Smooth, light jazz. I think I'm a cool guy now, Dan. I feel like after I've been at Fringe, we've got kind of that nouveau confidence.
Because it's not like debut Fringe act. Like you've done it twice now. You're pretty experienced.
Yeah. So,
yeah, you choked to death on some tea.
I was so cool it went down the wrong way. So, we're doing the Aeneid, back in the saddle, my friend, and we've only got a couple more bits to go. By which I mean we've got about 5 more episodes to go. Technically 6, but so Dan, what?
5's basically 6, isn't it?
Maths is all the same, isn't it? So,
yeah, maths is maths.
So, in the last 6 books, what's happened? Give us.
Oh, don't let me do a recap again.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Can you do it in 10 words?
Well, we know from last time I can't. But basically, he's on a journey. He's seen some stuff. But the last few books, the important thing is he's had a funeral for his dad. There was a funeral game. He's just gone to the underworld to visit his dad. Mm-hmm. And now he's left the underworld. We weren't quite sure why he went to the underworld because he didn't really do anything. It seemed like a massive waste of time.
Absolutely.
But anyway, that happened. And then he's back now and going to continue on his way to found a city or in Rome, right?
Yeah, so he's going to head to Italy to get a, quote, foreign bride. And this is...
that was it, yeah. His prophecy is that he's going to get a foreign bride.
And basically he has to get his son to Alba Longa, which is... Because Ascanius will rule over Alba Longa, which is the seed for Rome, and he's the ancestor of Romulus and Remus and stuff like that. So Aeneas has to do his part to get there. He has to get to Italy to set off this chain of events. But so we've just finished. So Aeneid is half. The first half is like the Odyssey. It's like fancy elements of.
Yeah, we've had the monsters and the different islands and the.
But now it's time to go to the Iliad section. So we've had fancy. Now it's time for war. So time to get. But here's book 7 and the beginning of the end. So Aeneas' first up in book 7 is Catus Harbour, named for his childhood nurse. And after honouring Catus' memory, the fleet sails past the island, ruled over by Circe, a goddess who turned many suitors into animals. Do you remember Circe?
Vaguely, yeah.
And, she was the witch that turned her men Odysseus' men into pigs, and then.
Oh, of course, yeah. And then she banged Odysseus.
Yes,
They had a sexual relationship.
Oh yeah.
Because she was like, "Hey, you want to save your men from?" He was like, "Yeah, we'll do it tomorrow morning."
Yeah. It's like, we've been eating pigs for a while. Odysseus is like, yeah, but I've been getting laid. So Neptune, god of the sea, takes pity on Aeneas' men and sends them a wind that carries them past the dangerous island. Aeneas sees the Tiber River and knows that he has arrived at last in the land that he is destined to rule. At this point, Virgil returns to the first-person narrative that he used at the very opening of the epic, calling on Erato, the muse of poetry, to aid him in telling the second half of Aeneas' story.
So the adventure side, he's got to where he wants to be.
Yes, he's finally in Italy.
Okay, nice.
This
is the equivalent in the Odyssey, where the first half is him doing the trip, and the second half is him actually in Ithaca getting his house back.
Kind of, yeah.
It's that kind of thing, right?
Yes, it is that kind of thing. And but I would say that this second half is more like it's a war story, so it's less of a going home. It's more of a conquering a new land.
Let's pillage some stuff.
Mm-hmm. Virgil now introduces King Latinus, who presides over Latinum with his wife, Queen Amata. The pair only have one surviving child, a daughter, Lavinia, who is being pursued by the Rutulian Turnus, a favourite of Queen Amata. So, we have 4 big characters here. We have King Latinus. Who is kind of the king of ancient Rome, pre-Rome.
And he's the king of a place called Latinum. That makes sense.
Yep.
And he's married to someone called Amata. She's a queen.
And they have a daughter called Lavinia, who also very named after Latinum as well. A guy chasing after is Rutulian called Turnus, who's quite good at combat, very like a military.
That's like her suitor who's trying to wed her.
Just like you know now, so Lavinia is also kind of the idea of a foreign bride and stuff like that. But is
she going to be the prophecy?
Mm-hmm. So she's quite important to the integral part of the story. But I want you to know how many lines she has, how much she's actually part of the plot, okay? Because I feel with a lot of myths that, there's quite a lot of, kind of ingrained misogyny there. So do keep that in mind for future use, okay?
Yes, sir.
See, I'm very much a classics teacher at the moment. I feel good. Oh, that newfound confidence. Tea time. As Aeneas arrives... As Aeneas and his men arrive on the Latin shores, King Latinus receives a series of omens of war. He also receives a prophecy that he should choose a husband for his daughter from among the foreigners who have just arrived, and that he should allow these strangers to intermarry with the Latins, for the offspring of such a union is destined to rule the world. The quote is, "Their blood will raise our name above the stars." So,
a solid. Yeah.
It's quite an afternoon. You get a lot of omens of war, and also, hey, you should probably marry your daughter to this random guy.
Yeah, so he's like, forget this Turnus guy, I'm going to try and get my daughter set up with one of these dudes that's just rocked up.
Yeah, and he's like, wow, their blood's going to intertwine with mine and become a death. Oh, that's going to be wicked. A lot of people have confidence back in these days.
Dude, yeah.
In the meantime, Aeneas and his men rest beneath some trees and prepare a sumptuous meal, which they serve on hard wheaten cakes.
The sweet, sweet hard wheaten cake.
Oh, sorry, I think that's a Latin typo. I think it's... So let me try that again. So they rest beneath some trees and prepare a sumptuous meal, which they serve on... with some Weetabix.
Some Weetabix, some Weetabix. Some hard wheaten cakes It's Weetabix.
You need a lot of milk with that.
I
But
fucking love Aeneas now.
is that the only thing that's been holding you back?
Yeah.
After they finish the meal, they eat the cakes, and Ascanius laughingly says that they were so hungry that they ate their very tables.
Oh, Ascanius.
Do you remember that prophecy?
I do remember that prophecy actually. That you'll be be so starving that you'll have to eat
your tables, and they
haven't done that at all. He's just joked about it.
I think they ate. Yeah, it's something. There's a loophole there, and I can't. It doesn't say it very well here, but yeah, they technically ate their table, but not genuinely.
Yeah. The prophecy was meant to be that they would be so starving hungry that they would feel the need to eat things that weren't food. That was what the prophecy was going to be.
So,
and they just bulldoze right over that.
They laugh through that. Oh, what a laugh you are! Oh, we don't have to fake laugh for you. Aeneas is struck by this statement because earlier. I never read ahead. Aeneas is struck by the statement because earlier in the Aeneid, the harpers, Celaeno, prophesied that they would only reach the destined land when their hunger had compelled them to eat their tables. We did it better.
Yeah, we summarised better. Aeneas sends Amorous what to burn. Oh my god, I'm only 3 words in and I already fucked it up.
Emissaries.
Aeneas sends emissaries to King Latinus laden with gifts. King Latinus, realising that Aeneas and his men must be the foreigners destined to intermarry with his people, sends gift to the Trojans in return and asks Ilonius to tell Aeneas that he wishes to give him Lavinia's hand in marriage.
That is...
Ooh la la. Ooh la la.
Aeneas gets it so easy, right?
He gets it so easy.
Firstly, your wife dies, boo hoo hoo, whatever. But then he goes.
Then you get married to a queen. Oh, boo hoo hoo.
Who loves you, and also your mum. Your mum's kind of creepy because she gets her other son to shoot arrows into women that you fancy as well.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
I mean, that would be very helpful for me, but with but then as soon as he arrives, he's like, well, you should probably marry that guy. Like what? You know what I mean? He has a lot of maybe he. I know. I was going to go into a sexuality thing where I just can't be bothered.
Welcome to Miffs. Upon hearing of his peaceable agreement, Juno becomes infuriated once again.
So we all remember that Juno, the queen of gods, hates Aeneas and the Trojans for many reasons, and she's the kind of antagonist of the show.
She hasn't appeared in a while. Although she recognises that she cannot sway the Trojans from their destiny, she is determined to postpone their inevitable rise for as long as possible. So be it. Let Lavinia be his wife, as fate has fixed. But I can still hold off that moment and delay these great events, can still strike down the nations of both kings. To achieve this end, she enlists the Fury Alecto. Yeah, you said it right. To help her incite a war between you just assumed I'd got it wrong, didn't you?
Yeah.
Anyway, he helps incite the war between the Trojans and the Latins, so they're going to try and... But she knows that these guys are going to prosper, and she can't stand it, so she's just going to keep making their life a misery until eventually she knows the prophecy will win out.
Yeah, so she can't change fate, but she can stir up trouble. Yeah. And also, Alecto is a female Fury. But do you remember the Furies?
I do remember the Furies. They're a bit like the Harpies.
Yeah, but a bit more...
I did not describe this to the listeners.
Yeah, they're supernatural kind of bird figures, but they really are really vicious.
Grotesque.
Harpies more kind of a bit more gross.
They were in the Oresteia.
Yes, they were. Yeah, they're a bit more supernatural, a bit more kind of
hello, we're the Half Furies. Well,
yeah, exactly. It's kind of like antis.
Creepy.
Yeah. We have judged you. Something
like the witches of Macbeth. I was.
Yes, that's a really good comparison.
Electka approaches Queen Amata and enchants her so that she will do all that she can to upset the peace between the Trojans and the Latins. Amata begs her husband not to give away their daughter to Trojan exiles. Harsh. Yeah, because they see them as refugees, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And they don't know that they're warriors.
Latinus refuses to be swayed, and Amata literally turns insane, raging throughout the city and lighting fires while singing the wedding song of Turnus and Lavinia. She even goes so far as to hide Lavinia in the mountains.
Okay.
So Queen Amata has gone mental with the thought of marrying her daughter off to some refugees.
I'm going to say that's...
She's very right-wing.
She voted
bloody foreigners coming over here trying to marry my daughter. I might be having it.
But that's, as meeting parents goes, that's a pretty bad
Bad start.
It's like, oh, if you ever met the parents, kind of like, oh, it's gone quite bad. Have you ever met any parents as in met relationship parents or?
Yeah, well, I guess so. Yeah.
How did that go for you?
Really nice.
So
I'm fine when it comes to meeting parents.
Are you quite good? Cause
I'm pretty good.
Because I feel I think I get on better with the parents than the
Yeah, I tend to get on better with the mum than I do the girl.
Oh, are we weird?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember one bit. I will not tangent for too long, but I remember one bit. No, that's not interesting. Carry on.
Electra goes to Turnus, where she takes on the guise of the elderly Calabi, priestess of Juno's temple. As Calabi, Alecto urges Turnus not to permit the Trojans to take control over the city and tells him to raise his men in arms against the foreigners. Turnus mocks Alecto, telling her that war is a matter for men. Angered, Alecto reveals her true self to Turnus, and he is frightened into assent. I'd be scared too if a temple priestess was like, I think you shouldn't fight these guys. And he's like, shut up, wench, I'm a man, I know how to fight. And then she transforms into a fury, and she's like, nah, you bastard, I'm telling you. And he's like, oh God, please, I'm so sorry, I've pissed myself. Ah!
And Turnus is this overly macho man.
But he's actually a little wimp.
For him to get scared that easily, it's quite interesting. So Alecto has kind of corrupted all these key people as well. But also in the Roman world, that you always must be on your toes in case you say something to the wrong person.
Yeah.
And then Zeus condemns your bloodline for the next 12 years.
Yeah, because remember we made that joke about how you could sneeze on a homeless person, and it turns out it's actually Zeus, and then it was like, oh great, my family's cursed.
Absolutely. Yeah, exactly. So Alecto completes her plan to destroy the treaty between the Latins and the Trojans by visiting Ascanius, who is hunting along the coast. She sends the sweet scent of a stag, owned by a Latin family, into the noses of Ascanius' dogs, then guides Ascanius' arrow so it slaughters the beast. A bit of sound effects there. Good.
Nice.
Still laugh at the guru doo-doo, but not that. So, okay, fair enough. The local farmers are enraged and gather their weapons against the Trojans. Alecto herself blows the trumpet, calling them to war. It is episode 4 trumpet.
It's episode 4 trumpet.
Yeah. The Latins attack the Trojans, and several men die on both sides. So war happens quite fast, and happens over a stag as well.
Is this definitely all scared of the foreigners thing?
I think it's less UKIP than we're giving, because in all fairness, if a random people turn up in your show being like, well, we're kind of destined to take...
That's true, actually, yeah, they are rocking up being like, hey, this is ours,
yeah,
we've been told that we have to go, and then they're like, wait a minute. Finally, Alecto returns to Juno to report that her work is done. Shall I do this as a fury?
Yeah, do it in her voice.
See the discord I made ripe for you in bitter war.
Alecto offers to continue wreaking havoc, but Juno dismisses her, and Alecto returns to her cave in Coctus.
Cocytus.
I'm going to say Coctus.
Cocytus.
Angered by the casualties, the Latins, including Turnus, storm the palace, calling for war. But King Latinus refuses and shuts himself within the palace, let the reins of rule fall slack. Virgil next describes a traditional Hesperian custom in which the gates of Mars' temples are thrown open to signify the beginning of war. Seeing the King Latinus refuses to take his step, Juno throws the gates open herself, and warriors come from all over the kingdom to fight against the Trojans. Two notable arrivals are the evil Mezentius and the brave Camilla, both of whom will be described in more detail in the later story.
So, just to kind of go over that. So the gates of war open, which is a big thing in Rome.
That means stuff's about to go down. We're a war people.
Yeah, and in times of peace, the gates are closed.
Okay.
But it's a very significant thing.
So it's saying that we're at war currently.
Yeah. And that's what happens. And the thing in Augustan times, they closed for the first time in a very long time. So,
I don't know whose side to be on, really.
What do you mean? As in,
well, on the one hand, you've got the Trojans. They've been their home was burnt down by the Greeks. Yeah, the home was burnt down by the Greeks because of the whole Paris, Menelaus, Trojan War stuff, which we've obviously done a lot in various bits. See Achilles, I would say, for more detail. And then don't ask me what episode that is. And then what episode is Achilles? Go on.
I think it's 33 to 36.
Well played.
Actually,
So on the
36
one hand,
outside.
they've been displaced because their whole city and country was thrown into war. They're all they've just about survived. They've travelled for what must be miles, basically from Turkey through the Middle East to bloody Rome.
Yeah.
They've been on this huge journey with monsters and gods, and they've finally got to a place that they think is rightfully theirs, and they're going to hopefully do some good. Meanwhile, you've got the Latins or the Romans that are just peacefully in their city, and then this army's rocked up and has gone, hey, we're here to marry your daughters and take back what's rightfully ours. And they're like, well, we've never seen you before. All they think of them as just refugees. They're like, hey, aren't you these guys that have just had your city burnt down?
In all fairness, when you say you don't know whose side to be on, you're right there. But firstly, the Trojans haven't started any war. The only thing is that Scanus are...
And the gods have started this war.
Well, that's it. It's the gods' fault, really. Well, it's Juno's fault, really. And
Yeah, because it would have been peaceful because they were just going to marry each other off.
Yeah. However, yeah, stuff has kind of gone down, and yeah, so it's not really anyone's fault. But that being said, in war, on both sides, there are kind of evil people and good people, and yeah, I mean, because Latinus isn't a bad guy. He just kind of he's been kind of roped into it. But yeah, it's quite interesting, all the same. But it's time to rank this. So Dan, what do you think of this episode?
I like it.
It was better than Underworld?
I don't know, actually. I think when we rank it, we'll realise not as many things necessarily happened.
I don't know.
I think it's setting up the backstory. They've arrived. Stuff's about to go down.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and just to clarify that we will be seeing more about Mezentius, Turner, and Camilla later on. But they're kind of the three main of the other side. So we rank people in 3 categories.
4 categories.
3 plus 1, naturally.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Because I just said 3 people, that's why my brain got confused. Yeah, so what are those categories then?
Life skills, practical things we've learned. Morals, the moral things we learned. Creativity, how creative was the... I'll do this, I'm really good at maths. Creative, how creative was it? And WTF, what was messed up? So we rank each category out of 10 to give a total of 40.
Or 30, if you're me. So we are doing this now. So what have we learned, Dan? It's life skills. We'll learn how to start war.
We learned how to start war.
We'll learn to name something after childhood memories.
Yeah, we learned how to transform into a priestess.
Do I say that again?
We learned how to transform into a priestess.
We learned how to start a war, as in like in terms of like manipulating minds and saying key people. We learned how to set fire to stuff and sing songs at weddings.
Yeah, we learned how to open the temple gates.
We learned how to make a good impression on your in-laws. We also learned how to arrive and sail. We also learned
how to bring gifts.
Yes, we learned how to kill a stag as well.
Yeah.
We also learned I don't know. What else?
We learned how to eat wheat biscuits.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. We also learned prophecies and stuff like that. We also learned you don't really how many lines has Lavinia said so far?
Not many.
0.
Yeah.
Full on 0. She just kind of stands there going, hi, I'm on plot point. And that's it, really. We learn, we learn, I think that's pretty decent. I'm going to say, off the bat, 7.
Oh, okay. Just trying to work out if it's a 7 or a 6.
I think it's pretty decent, honestly.
I suppose there's a lot of different things happening.
Yeah. Maybe even, I would even say, yeah, I think 7.
Go on, I'll put it down 7. Next, morals. Moral things we learned. I think we learned a few morals here.
Take me through.
We learned that all the God stuff aside, turn up, be pious to new people, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Welcome people with open arms. We learned that it's okay just to marry your daughter off to someone she doesn't know.
Yeah, and don't ignore the signs of war, necessarily.
All the signs of war, yeah. Don't be rude to someone because it might turn out she's a fury.
Yeah, that's a good one. But then that you can't go against fate, but you can fuck things up.
Yeah, you can't go against fate, even if you're a god. Fate's fate. But you can make it take longer.
Absolutely. Then that war's not good.
Yeah, we learned that war's not good.
I feel there's not a lot here, but the things we do have are quite significant, like the wall, but it's all kind of wall themed.
Yeah.
Also, but also that mistrusting of strangers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say 5.
I think it's pretty down the middle. 5 it is. I would have gone 5. Creativity. How creative is it?
Well, what do you think?
Well, there's gods in this one, which is nice.
Gods
there is
and
some kind of
monsters
narrative, which is good.
with a fury.
We have Furies, we have the gods kind of being the puppeteers again. It's nice to have that. We have different characters, and each character seems to have like a place in the narrative, which is nice.
Oh, we also see the fact that
We've got prophecies.
absolutely we see that even there's no good nor bad side. They're just two different sides,
Yeah, that's true.
and there's good and bad people on both sides.
Yep.
So like Mezentius is probably going to be a bad guy, but also we see that he's not necessarily for other people, not necessarily. Yeah, I mean. So I think that's quite cool. Well, we also, God's taking a big influence here. Maybe a 6.
I'm willing to give it a 6.
Yeah. And finally, WTF.
Uh,
Killing a deer with a random shot and starting a war. That's pretty. That's a big.
Pretty weird.
Seeing someone turn into a fury.
Yeah, it's pretty messed up. I think the whole Juno thing's messed up. If you know that fate's going to happen and that there's no way of averting the course,
Yeah.
why are you being so malicious as to still make people die and to still drag it on?
Well, I think that's Juno to a T, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
So
that's pretty messed up there.
yeah, it is. You're right. I think that's a good point.
Lavinia doesn't have any say in who she marries. It's
Yeah.
pretty messed up.
And also, the king marries his daughter off pretty quickly.
Pretty quickly, yeah.
He's like ready to go from like as soon as they hit the sails. But also beyond that, I think Amate going literally insane, running through the city. And
Yeah, that was really messed up. Yeah.
I think that's probably the most messed up thing.
Yeah.
And she's the queen as well, so that's quite a. I'm gonna say over a 6 or a 7. Not too crazy, but
I think a 6.
6. Yeah,
Wow.
6 is fair. So that's 7 plus 5 plus 6 plus 6 equals 24.
Carry the 6.
Shut up.
Add 6. Take away the.
Shut up.
It's 24.
Get in. I'm really good at maths.
Good job, Matt.
Oh, so we obviously got a few more of the war stories, but war has begun. Aeneas doesn't really have it easy, does he?
No, he doesn't. Bless him.
Well, that being said, he's just been to the underworld. Nothing's happened, and before that, he literally had a game. So
yeah.
maybe we should have got that guy who punched the ball to death. He would have.
Oh, he'd have been One Punch Man.
Yeah, good. So beyond that, though, thank you for listening. What a delight it is to have you back in our lives. And please tell people about this podcast. If you share it with a friend, that would mean the world to us. You can share it on Twitter at Miffpodcast, and find us on Facebook at Miffpodcast as well. And why don't you get in touch with us at miffpodcast@gmail.com and tell us about all your favourite things as well. What else can people do, Dan?
They can give us 5 stars.
Yes.
On their podcast platform.
And why is that a good thing to do?
That's a good thing because it just means that we know that you, valued listeners, enjoy it.
And also, I'm not sure if you know this, Dan, but like, if you rank it, if you give it 5 stars, it means that it'll show up in other people's feeds a lot more, and also it'll go as high in the rankings, and then other people can listen to it.
You can also tell a friend about it.
Yeah. And why, if you really like us, give us some money on the Patreon and the Ko-fi accounts below. You can do whatever you want. And it costs a lot of money to do this, so that'd be great. But yeah, Dan, thank you for that. How should we end this episode? Should I sip more tea?
Yeah, you sip tea. See how weird, creepily you can sip a tea. How much?
What I'm going to do is, I'll sip the tea, then I'll say Matilda.
Okay, go on.
Matilda. Is that creepy?
That's creepy. Perfect. See you later, guys.
Bye.
Miffs, 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 miffs.
Ring, ring. Hello. Yep. Sorry, he's not in at the moment. Yeah, no worries. Cool. Yeah, no worries. Have a good day. Yeah, have a good day, mate. Bye. Yeah, bye. That's it.
Who was that?
Steve Stapleton.
Well, what's funny is that he picked up a staple and pretended it was a phone. And last week when when I made a bad joke, he laughed in my face. Dan, I'm better than that. I'm not gonna.
I'll be good. I'll be better today.
Ring. Who's that? Steve again, you little bastard. I'm here.
Yes, Steve. That sounds funny.
Yeah, get in. The first time.
Visual gag that the listeners won't get.
All right, let's start the episode.